Well, hey guys, I know you can't, whoop, nope, shut up. I know you can't hear it yet, but it is absolutely pouring outside. So I figured what better opportunity to make a video on how this car drives in the rain. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and get out of the garage here. So yeah, like I said, it is pouring. It's coming a pretty nice thunderstorm here in good old Tyler, Texas. And actually, I don't even know if this is a good idea, but we'll see. Or maybe we won't see. Yeah, I think it's going to be more along the lines of we won't see because I can't really see anything. Yeah, it's raining very hard. This is like flash flood type weather. But anyways, so how does this car, for those of you who don't know, this is my 2007 Ford Mustang GT Premium with the 5-speed manual transmission and the, yeah, it's pretty much flooding. I'm driving through probably 2 or 3 inches of water right now. Like I said, 2007 Mustang GT Premium with the 5-speed manual, and this one is currently running 3 out of 4 tires are 8-year-old Pirelli P0 all seasons. Basically the OEM tire that came on this car, and they are very hard, these tires. Very hard rubber on these. And oh my gosh. Holy crap, I don't know what I'm doing. This is an awful idea. There's one tire that's, holy crap, this is ridiculous. I don't know if y'all can see the rooster tails coming up from the front of the car, but there is a lot of water on the road, and I do mean a lot. But 3 of the 4 tires are 8 years old and fairly dry rotted. So currently this car drives very poorly in the rain. It does not drive well at all. So now you will get a little taste of that, and yeah, it's interesting. So it's been raining all day, but this is the hardest it's rained all day. I'm pretty sure our pool at home is about to overflow, especially if it keeps this nonsense up. And that kind of sounded like hail. That's nice. Yeah. This is an awful idea. Holy crap. So getting this car moving on roads that are this wet is an interesting thing to do. Shall we say. It is very interesting, very difficult to do. Like I said, this is the hardest it's been raining all day, and it is just absolutely 124% pouring. And I can feel the car trying to hydroplane at 45 miles an hour. So needless to say, I do need tires very badly. And hopefully that'll be happening very soon, sooner than I may have thought after this ridiculous rain. It does seem to be slacking up a little bit the further south I go, so that's nice. But yeah, driving this car in the rain, you have to be really careful, especially as the tires are now. It's very slidey. Of course, the hard rubber leads to next to zero traction coming from a stoplight or something like that. Just really have to be careful with this car in the rain. But as far as once you're moving goes, it's not that bad. But if you hit a heavier patch of water, it will certainly try to hydroplane on you. It's just interesting. There's a decent amount of tread depth left on all the tires. So it doesn't try to hydroplane that bad. Just the main struggle is getting the car actually moving. And that presents the biggest challenge of all. But as far as how the wipers work, they work really well. Much better than those that were on the Fusion. I did not like the wipers on the Fusion at all. They would never go fast enough. And if you remember, they were the opposed style wipers like older minivans used to have. And they just didn't do a very good job of clearing the windshield when I needed them to. So it's nice to have normal windshield wipers back, that's for sure. Of course, as soon as I say it's slacking up, it just gets worse again. I hope you guys can hear me. I'm talking really loud. That brings me on to my next point. This car is really loud in the rain. There's not a lot of sound deadening in the Mustang. My brother's got a 2010 Mustang GT. I'm sure some of you have seen the video on it. And it drives far better in the rain than this does all the way around. The tires are pretty much brand new. It's a lot quieter. It doesn't try to spin all the time. It's just a much easier car to drive in the rain. This one, you really have to be paying attention, otherwise it'll get out from under you very quickly. As it's trying to do right now. Good gosh. And this is the first rain we've had here in East Texas in almost 2 months. And so needless to say, the ground's very hard and it's just not absorbing the rain well. So there's lots of accumulating water on the roads and stuff like that that I wish wasn't happening. So yeah, as you can hear, it's very loud in here. You can hear a lot of road spray, especially when it's not raining quite so hard. You can hear more road spray. As far as the lights in the rain, the lights do a pretty good job. They're on low beam right now with the fog lights on. Switching them to high beam is not really a good idea in the rain. They just kind of reflect back into your eyes and it just makes for a bad time. So yeah, as y'all can tell, I'm having to be very careful. I'm going about 40 miles an hour on a road that has a speed limit of 55. And it's just, yeah, it needs tires really bad. But as far as the lighting goes, the visibility is really good. I'm sure you can see flashes of lightning. You're probably going to think I'm insane for doing this, and I'm starting to think the same thing. But I wanted to kind of give you guys a perspective of how things are with this car in the wet. And probably should have waited until it was a little quieter, but whatever. Gosh, this is ridiculous. I can't see really, I can see maybe 20-30 feet in front of me, and that's about all I've got. Turning the wipers up on high speed doesn't really do any good. The rain's just blowing really hard, and it's just ridiculous. And from what I'm able to tell, this rain is supposed to be set in for a good while, looking at the radar. So I don't know if I'll be driving this car much more after this. I'll take the Range Rover or the truck if I need to go somewhere. Because four-wheel drive would be really nice with this. I'm stopped now and you can hear how loud the rain is on the roof. The roof is very hollow in this car. Very hollow roof. It just sounds basically like a tin Coke can to me. This is just ridiculous. This is probably the hardest rain I've ever driven in, and I've driven in some pretty bad storms. I'm just doing my best to get it in 5th gear as soon as I can, and keep traction on the road, because that's really all you can do at this point. But I figured this might be some pretty decent entertainment for you guys. It's certainly keeping me on my toes. Oh God! I'm not a big fan of lightning either, so I'm kind of ready to get back home. Should be home. Well, at these speeds, I don't know when I'll be home, but at some point. Yeah. Right now the car needs a lot of Rain-X put back on the windshield. It had a good amount on it today before I started driving in all this wet weather and getting road spray. But now it's pretty much gone, especially where the wiper paths overlap. It's really taken the Rain-X off and made things difficult, which is not all that fantastic for visibility out the front of the car. I can't really see out the mirrors because the rain is blowing so hard behind me. I can barely make out the taillights of the cars in front of me. This is just crazy. I think this was probably a really bad idea. But I guess I'll do a little update on the car. Still really enjoying it, except in weather like this. And I still enjoy it in weather like this. I just know it needs tires. It's got 33,834 miles on it now, which is pretty high miles. Well, not for the year, but since I've gotten it, I've had it 2 months and taken it from 29,200 to 33,834. So, as you can tell, I drive this car quite a bit. I can't even hear the exhaust right now. But as far as the interior, how it's holding up, it's doing really well. The driver's seat is starting to show some signs of wear, which is pretty typical of the 05 to 09. Actually, all of the S1 and 197 GTs. The leather that they use just wasn't all that fantastic, and it wrinkles really quickly. I've got a few areas on the seat bolster by the door that's starting to show some wear, kind of wearing through the leather and getting into the softer looking stuff, which really isn't that big of a deal. I'm not worried about it. I didn't buy this car to keep perfect. I bought this car as a daily driver, and that's exactly what it is. So yeah, it's just a really fun car to own. Even in weather like this, I'm still enjoying driving it. I just can't see where I'm going, which doesn't really sound very smart, but whatever. Hopefully y'all are enjoying this video. I hope you can hear me, and if not, I won't even upload the dang thing. But I'm going about 39 now on a road that has a 60-mile-an-hour speed limit, just to kind of give you some perspective of how loose this car gets on extremely wet roads like this. And I haven't really had any traction problems this drive, but when the roads are just kind of damp and not like flooding like they are right now, it really, especially if you're on a hill or slicker surface pavement, you really better know what you're doing to get this car moving. Otherwise, you're just gonna kind of skid and wheel hop all over the place. And getting this car moving involves a lot of burning the clutch, and I hate to do that, but otherwise I don't go anywhere, so whatever. Cars are even running with their hazard lights on just so other people can see them. I mean, I've got 4 giant lights on the front of my car, so I'm not really all that worried about it. It's pretty easy to spot. I wish the lights on the back were a little bit brighter, but I do plan to change those eventually with the Raxium Gen 5 tail lights. So hopefully those will be on within the next year or so. That's not really priority. The car needs a lot of other things before that. It needs brakes, it needs tires. When I do tires, I'm gonna see if I can pick up a set of 18-inch wheels for pretty cheap that has some decent tires left on them. Run those down and maybe do a set of Continental Extreme Contact DWS's for my daily tires, and then I plan to keep these rims to throw some cheap tires on for autocross. So that should be pretty interesting. I'll actually get to do some autocross experience with this car and really learn to drive this thing. I know it needs suspension really bad. It's really boaty as it is. Very soft suspension. It loads up fairly nicely in the corners. But as far as handling goes, my brother's 2010 GT with the track pack, it would outrun this thing in the corners all day long. And the cars are pretty evenly matched as far as straight line speed goes. So that car is certainly going to be faster down a canyon road or a track or something like that. So yeah, this isn't set up for handling right now. I plan to do the Maximum Motorsports package. I think the starters pack is what they call it. It's like $1,500, which sounds like a lot. But then when you look at everything that that package gives you, it really gives you a lot of things, which is really nice. It gives you H&R race springs, I believe, and custom valve Bilstein shocks, adjustable panhard bar, and a few other things I think that are necessary to do full suspension on these. Crap, that was a bad start. I'm not really worried about driving this car smoothly right now, though. I'm just worried about driving. So yeah. Plan to do the Maximum Motorsports suspension eventually, hopefully within the next year, but we'll see. Eventually I'll do Bassani axle back just to kind of give it a little extra growl, which I think it needs. It sounds pretty good stock, but it's just not all that loud. It's very rumbly, but it's not loud, and if I'm gonna have a Mustang, I want it to be heard, so probably gonna go with the Bassani. I really like the way it sounds. It's really, really good sounding exhaust. Really high quality stuff too. Came close to putting a set of Flowmaster 40 series mufflers on the car, but I felt like they kind of made it sound more like a truck, and this is a muscle car, not a truck, so yeah, I just kind of left that alone. So that's kind of the status with the exhaust on the car. But yeah, this is just absolutely insane. This is by far and away the heaviest terrain I've ever driven in, and thank God I'm not like on an interstate or something, because I wouldn't be driving this car if I were on an interstate right now. That would just be completely out of the question. But yeah, if there's any questions you guys have about the car, anything you want to know, feel free to drop it in the comments box below. I'll do my best to get it answered for you. If I don't know the answer, I'll try and figure it out. So yeah, I guess that's really pretty much it. I'll shut up for now and just cruise the rest of the way home. Gotta love that lightning. Actually just passed a yellow 3-valve GT that has the wheels that I want on it. The ones that I really want are the chrome polish, kind of a brushed chrome finish, 18-inch bullets that came on some of the GT Premiums and the GT California Specials. I just think those look really nice on these cars. I was going to do the SVE drifts, but I can't really afford them. That would be like $1,500. And that's kind of out of the question for wheels and tires. Not really willing to spend that, and I think the chrome polished California Special wheels look just as good, so those are the ones I'm going to go with. As far as fuel economy goes on the car, it's not all that great. It drinks gas pretty heavily. Especially considering the way that the car gets driven. I'm sure it's getting great gas mileage right now because I can't really drive the dang thing. But considering the way that this car gets driven, the gas mileage, Not very good. I average about 15 in town. On the highway, I can do close to 25, which is pretty good. And I'm actually really impressed with it for doing 25 on the highway. I think that's a pretty solid fuel economy goal for a 5-speed manual with a big 4.6 liter V8 under the hood. So not the greatest gas mileage, but it's certainly doable. Come on, gate, open. What is the deal? Oh gosh, don't tell me power's out. No, there we go. Sorry, clutch. My neighbor, oh my god. There's somebody's trash can well into the middle of the road. I don't know where that came from. I'm just keeping it in second, going really slow because the neighborhood has a lot of curves and hills and stuff like that. And it's just completely ridiculous. You can probably tell I have a car behind me based on the lights. It's a truck. They want me to go faster, but that's not really an option right now. I'm just doing my best to keep this thing on the road. Now is when I kind of wish I had something all-wheel drive and big. But, I don't know, I wouldn't trade this car for the world. I adore this thing. Just a really nice car. Super, super happy and blessed to have this thing. Please go in a straight line, please. Yep, road was completely flooded right there. That was probably about 4 or 5 inches of water. That's nice. Rain does seem to be slacking up now though, which is nice, so I don't have to yell at the top of my lungs. There's 2 more trash cans. That's great. That's really nice. See how bad that, yeah. Golly. This is crazy. My street's just completely covered in, I don't even know how many inches of water. A lot. Made it back home, thank you, Lord. That was stressful. But anyways, hope you guys have enjoyed this video. It's been something else to make, that's for sure. Didn't really expect the rain to be that bad. So anyways, hope you guys have enjoyed. Thanks for watching. And now that you can hear me, we'll catch you next time.